live right now.
It is live right now. Now, I don't know if they can hear us. I mean, we might be a little dark. Doug might be a little dark. We're just using we're good old natural sunlight coming in from the window here. I was actually going to set up the lights, but then I had some issues with the mic. It is live right now. Oh, we got sound for real. I don't think you guys want to hear that. I guess it's good old natural sunlight coming in from the window here. I was actually going to set up the lights, but then I had some issues with the mic. It is live right now. Oh, we got sound for real. Yeah, man, that wasn't too obnoxious now, was it? Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. Just finally cracking my coffee here for the first time this morning. For some weird reason, when we put on the camera, it wasn't displaying the audio. Usually, like, you get the bars showing you the levels. We weren't getting that, so I'm like, I don't know if this is even working. Oh, and the battery needed to be changed again. So just before we were getting started, I'm like, you kidding me?
It's on the road.
Yeah, so like Doug just said, we are on the road. We are at Origins 2017 here in Ohio. Woohoo! Columbus, not the butt crack. No. Sorry, Megan. So we've gotten to do a bunch of stuff so far. We've done a lot of wandering. Mm-hmm. Doug almost got ran over by Chris Perkins. That was pretty amazing.
I did. He gave me the stink eye. No, I'm just kidding. He was focused. They're in the middle of a game.
Yes. I actually went to approach Chris Perkins because they're streaming here from channel. Maybe you guys have been watching it. Maybe you've seen Satine and Rudy and all the other cool people they have on there. Holly Conrad, mm-hmm. One of your heroes.
Yeah. I got a picture with her. Chris Lindsay, the product manager.
Yeah, we were talking with Chris Lindsay last night. We want to mention what state he was in. Yeah. Ohio. He's in the state of Ohio. Yes. For sure. So that was cool. And we've just been talking with people and hanging out.
And a lot of walking.
Yeah, a lot of walking for sure. I feel like such an old freaking man. I'm like, my hip, oh my god!
The Columbus Convention Center is huge, and it's attached to the Hyatt Regency Hotel. So just a lot of walking back and forth from the exhibit hall to the D&D area, which is freaking awesome.
Yeah, huge.
You have all that cool art on the walls and the banners and everything from all the different published adventures and the Tomb of Annihilation.
We've been doing. We've been wrangling a lot of guests on the show for in the future, mm-hmm. For the daily live chats, which is cool. And we've also gotten to meet a lot of people that have been on the daily live chats in person.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dan Dillon, really cool.
And Rudy and Satine.
Yes,
meet them in person. That was really cool.
Hanging out with them.
Yeah.
Seth, he was on with Brian Stillman when they were talking Eye of the Beholder. We actually watched a screening of his movie, him and his wife Kelly's movie, which is Of Dice and Men. And you know what? Brian was selling this thing, right? And he was selling the hype on it. And he did not lie. He was not under-delivering. The movie was really good. It was a great, what do they call that?
Just like a slice of life kind of.
The merging of drama and comedy.
Dramedy?
Dramedy. Yeah, it was a great dramedy. Mm-hmm. And it was a good movie about D&D players that didn't make fun of D&D players or the game in our culture.
It was a human story.
Well, that's good because there's humans in there.
I mean, just about human nature. And it was cool because the writer of the play and the screenwriter and one of the actors in it was there for a Q&A afterwards.
Yeah. And it was kind of cool how Seth got involved with the project. Mm-hmm. After a party or something, he woke up and on his coffee table there's a script that says "Read Me."
Yeah, right.
Very subtle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it sounded like they had a cool time. Like they all, several actors had never played D&D before, so they
pretty much all of them.
Yeah, except Cameron.
Yeah, so Cameron's the one character in the story, and Seth were gamers, mm-hmm. but no one else had, and even Seth hadn't gamed for a long time at that point.
Second edition.
So he had a session with those guys where he brought them all over, and they just played D&D all day. And Cameron's looking at the books and looking at Seth, going, "Thaco, really, Thaco?"
Yeah.
Because at this point when they shot the movie, I imagine it was well in the third edition, if not second edition. I mean, if not fourth edition. Mm-hmm. And although Seth is back in gaming regularly now, mm-hmm. which is cool. And he's like, if I got nothing else out of that movie, he's like, I got my wife the game.
Yeah. And you would never have thought that one woman who played the dwarf had never gamed before.
Oh, yeah, she was so amazing. It was so hilarious.
Yeah. So a good actress, if nothing else. She'd probably be really good at a gaming table with all your voice acting and all that.
Well, actors and all.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they do for a living. But yeah, and it was like it's like an indie film, but it doesn't play like an indie film, is what I'm told. I don't watch many indie films. It looked like a regular film to me. I wouldn't know the difference.
I mean, it was shot really well and smooth, and the editing and everything was really tight. So, yeah, they shot it in 10 days of shooting, which is pretty impressive. I don't know a lot about filmmaking, but that's pretty.
Sounds impressive to me.
Yeah, 10 days, wow.
Yeah. So we got to do that. That was cool. We did watch a couple other indie movies, which was cool. We played Adventure League game.
Mm-hmm. And, it was a preview of the Tomb of Annihilation stuff.
Yes.
Which was awesome.
Yes. There may or may not have been little frog, spider, goblin creatures in it.
We messed up their living campaign.
Oh, yeah. The Arcanist campaigns. I think we messed up their living campaign a little bit.
Yeah.
We had help, though, from people that actually know what was going on, so I blame them.
Yeah, I'm going to blame them because it's like I didn't know who those NPCs were that may or may not have been accidentally beheaded.
Yeah.
But I was just along for the ride. So
yeah, so apparently there's like really important NPCs in this world, like any other world, should or maybe should not lose their heads.
Yeah.
Which may or may not happen in that game. Just saying.
And I think we still completed the quest goal, so we should get that 500.
We did get the 500.
Oh, we did?
Yeah,
yeah, that's right. We're just not targeted for death by like every faction.
Yeah, so that sounds like a win to me.
Let's see. Oh, we saw that creature curations. Yeah, he had a really cool artist booth. He makes sculptures of like fantastic monsters that he kind of comes up with his son, who's like 8 years old. He started telling him bedtime stories about monsters and things, and they were kind of developing. Like,
because he's building a D&D campaign world, and as he does it, he makes these 3-dimensional, like they're like busts or they look like trophy heads on a wall or whatever, but they're all monsters and they're all crazy and amazing.
Yeah, really
they're not really any of the monsters out of the monster manual or any of the books you've seen. These are like straight out of his imagination and inspired by his son. So that's a really cool story.
Yeah.
So what do we got going on over in the chat? You're supposed to be doing Kyle's job.
Sorry.
I'm talking. It's hard. It's not easy.
It isn't. I sympathize with Kyle now. I see you gotta have tough.
Well, no,
he's not on the thing.
Yeah, he's not on the camera.
I sympathize with you guys.
Yeah. Fuck Kyle. Oops. Did we say that loud while we're rolling? We love you, Kyle. We love you so much.
We got several people in here. Looks like they're just talking amongst themselves.
Nice.
Talking about making gold pieces and Electrum. A little used currency in D&D.
We actually, so we hung out with Ty Johnson, our website chief and editor. So that was cool. He showed up. Did he show up yesterday or the night before? The night before.
I think it was the night before.
And then Megan R. Miller is floating about somewhere. So once we get out of the hotel room and actually head over and grab an Uber to check that out.
Yeah, it's been interesting. Getting there early is great if you're going to game all day, but we've mostly just been like walking around looking at things, and it's like, the juice is in the bar and stuff where all the behind the scenes people are hanging out and getting to meet them. Yeah, we met like one of the execs from Pokemon, last night, hanging out with him, and we've been hanging out with Seth the whole time we've been here. Satine and Rudy. So that was really cool, and also the product manager for D&D, that was cool. So. And we've officially heard they do not hate Nerdarchy and Wizards of the Coast. I take that as an endorsement. Yeah, I thought it was cool meeting Dan Dillon just because somebody is like, hey, I use this guy's products in my game, and I'm sitting here talking to him. And that was pretty neat.
And we Stephen Rowe, he introduced us to him. BJ Hennessy's floating around here from the different things. Like anybody that actually works in the RPG industry, for the most part, unless they work for Wizards of the Coast, they have 7 different jobs. Yeah. So
just like you do.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But it is the only way. It was cool watching Satine and Rudy set up there. It was like watching ants on the move or something. Or just and I'm trying to I'm like, you need a hand, you want me to do something? And all I see is wires and cables all over. And I look at their equipment next to what we have. We look like we're cavemen, cavemen sending smoke signals or something compared to their setup.
They got a busy job. I mean, they're not only, running their show, just like you guys can sympathize with that. I mean, they're not only, performing on their show, they have to set up all their stuff themselves.
Do all the work.
It was cool meeting Robert Aducci, who's like the community manager for Adventures League. I talked to him a lot. That was really fun.
Yeah, I had some conversations with him as well. Like, there's so many people that I've shaken hands with and talked to over this weekend. Yeah. I am probably sure to get a bolo and die now.
I'm not seeing a lot of questions in chat. I wonder if there's anybody at Origins.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. Like, so I've had an opportunity to like hang out with a bunch of the fans. Shake hands, take pictures. Mm-hmm. So that's really cool. And it's really cool like how many people come up to us and go, you're the reason why I got back into 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. Not me personally, but Nerdarchy. Mm-hmm. Watching our videos has convinced them. They're like, oh, you convinced me to get involved with 5th edition. As opposed to something else. So that's a really big deal to us, because that is why we do this. Is we do it to spread the hobby, to bring more gaming out into the world. And when we actually hear, that's we're accomplishing that. That's a good feeling.
Gaming, because you guys, and look at me now, I'm sitting there at Origins with them.
Yeah, woohoo!
Here's a question from Mitchell Jacobs. He says, "What's the craziest or best thing you've seen at Origins?"
The craziest or best thing? Oh man, we're not done yet. We still got another night. I suspect it's going to change. I haven't seen anything really crazy, I want to say.
Whatever situation was going on with that high-level Adventures League game.
Oh, yeah, they had a crisis.
Yeah, I guess it was like a 17th level Sky King's Thunder. Sorry, Storm King's Thunder game at one of the tables, but I guess one of the players wanted to betray the group. And he was totally willing to give up his character and make him an NPC, but
whoever's running the game, he's like, I don't know. I got to tell him. I got to give him an answer now. I'm like, Nerdarchy to the rescue. We can totally GM 911 this one.
Yeah.
Let him do it.
Yeah, that's what the guy coordinator said too. He's like, I guess it sounds like a cool,
dramatic moment. Everybody dies.
So that was cool.
There's other players going to hate that guy so bad.
Yeah, and the other guy that they just threw into DMing the high level game, he came up to Dave and advice, right? Because he knew you were.
Well, yeah, I guess he wanted advice, and
he just wanted to say hi.
Yeah, and he was a fan. But so apparently his first time running ever is here at Adventure League. And they put him in like an epic level game or something.
Yeah. As a DM. He never even DM'd before, I think he said.
Yeah.
So good luck on that table. I hope they probably had fun.
I'm sure. I was like, just go for it, man. Fake it. Yeah. just drop Cosmic Dragons on them until there are no more players that concern you.
Here's another question from Bards in the Basement. Any inside peek at the new 5e products coming out?
Well,
the adventure we played was a sneak preview of the Tomb of Annihilation stuff.
Yeah, coming from Chol. Like, it's actually a really cool concept, because there's basically, there might be spoilers here. I don't know if you guys are playing. Like, I'll just give the premise, and you kind of know the premise when you start. So, adventure parts, and you do them kind of in any order, but you show up in Chol, and Chol is kind of being reclaimed by the jungle. Mm-hmm. Rapidly, and you have to go out and you have to solve all these pieces that you're going to then bring back. That's and is going to fix the problem. But we haven't actually. We only saw the one piece, so I assume the other ones are similar, but different.
Yeah, and they're each one's based around one of the different factions in Adventures League. So we did the Emerald Enclave ones. I think it was even more specifically about saving the natural environment. And there's the Zentarum and the Lord's Alliance, and so they probably each have different thematic things like that. They're about balance.
Yeah, so. Well, yeah, because I'm saying saving the wilderness. It's the wilderness. It's actually the village or town or city or whatever Chol is that needs to be saved from the wilderness.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I forget what the town was called, the port of something kind of fantasy.
I don't know. I know. Yeah, I think of Dragonborn and Tabaxi gave us our jobs. Yeah. So,
but the setting is pretty cool. That jungle setting. And I don't know. It just seems really flavorful and different.
The art, the freaking art that they have up all around for the Tomb of Annihilation is amazing. Freaking undead T-Rex vomiting zombies.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to do that to their players?
Yeah, right. Enough said there.
It just roars zombies.
Yeah, that was really good. They had a huge banner with
everywhere.
Yeah.
And we're looking around. Nerdarchy said, I think they would notice. We'd be getting a letter. We seem to notice.
We're missing a banner. Now you have one on your site. Or races. I think some people hinted that the Tomb of Annihilation has some player options.
Player options.
Like maybe some kind of froggy stuff in there. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I think Chris was saying that like he has it, but maybe not in this product. Maybe.
Is that what it was?
One of the in near future products too.
But I think there's probably some character options. I mean, usually the player options like Curse of Strahd, Haunted One, and such.
We actually kind of learned more about like some things coming up with Maze Arcana than anything. But I don't think we're really allowed to talk about that.
No.
We don't need to piss them off before we go into GM tips.
Here's another question from Steve. Thanks. Keep the questions coming. Is there anyone at Origins you wanted to meet really badly and got to?
Yes. I mean, really, I came here to meet like certain people are definitely on my list. Anyone that's been on my show or on our Nerdarchy show is on my list. Honestly, they've taken the time out to come on and hang out with us and to hang out with you guys. So to me, that's really cool. Even more so than some of these big names. I just like the human interaction. I just like connecting with people. Getting to hang out with Satine and Rudy and help them out was really cool. Like they had a minor crisis that we were able to actually help them before they went streaming. They were missing one of the lenses that they needed. Like it didn't ship right or something, and we were able to connect up with someone else that we knew here that had what they needed and get it to them. So yeah, basically over glorified gophers, pretty much.
But it was still cool.
Yeah. So yeah, it was cool. It was very cool to be able to help them because they might not have been able to actually do the stream without the lens.
Yeah. So if you enjoyed the Twitch TV stream last night, you can thank me and Dave.
Pretty much, we made it happen. Yeah. I mean, those other guys were in it and did the stuff, but
But they wouldn't have seen it.
But you can go to D&D. You can go to Twitch / D&D, I believe it is, and go and watch that stuff as well. I believe it all gets archived over there.
Yeah, it's like VOD. And I think today they're doing it for like 8 hours straight.
Yeah. She's from 2 to like 9 or 10 at night.
Yeah.
You know what? There was an unexpected person I got to meet to try and get her to come on the show. She gave me a soft yes. Margaret Weiss.
Oh yeah. Geez, how could I overlook that?
Yeah, and I got a picture with her, and me and Doug actually couldn't give money to a homeless guy because Margaret Weiss took our last dollar. So the story behind that is, we saw Margaret there and we were talking, and she's selling a book, and like, that's so cool, get that book and get it signed. But there was someone ahead of us that tried using a credit card, and her credit card thing wasn't working. So we had to pay cash. And between the two of us, I think the book was like $28. I think between the two of us, we had $27.
Yeah. And she was like, all right, I'll take that.
I'll take it. So that was really cool.
That was really cool. I mean, geez, talk about totally classic fantasy author there.
Yeah. What was Doug tweeting out? She was the architect of your childhood.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I grew up on all those Dragonlance books.
So that was really cool. Seth was filming interviews for the Art of D&D. He's going to be getting her today at noon, probably right around now, really, actually, they're doing that. But he also got Rudy and he got Satine to do it. And, we got to actually hang out while those interviews were going on. So that was really cool. I was thinking about trying to get on that because they want to get some fans to do it. But I'm like, you know what? It's not worth it. My piece will be the part that gets chopped and left on the floor, I'm sure.
And to get to meet actually meet in person, Easy Roller Dice, that was probably cool for you.
Yes. Yeah, we've been working with them for years now. And actually getting to go to their booth, check it out, and shake hands and talk to those guys was really cool. I'm hoping maybe tonight that they'll actually hang out afterwards. But by the end of the day, these guys are all exhausted. They've been boothing all day. You're standing around on concrete, close your back and your feet. And, a lot of us are like old men now, so it's not as easy as it used to be.
I got a few comments here. Ramirez Bale says, Nerdach finally gets out of the house and goes to a con.
Yeah, so, pretty much. That being said, it's like, we're getting up at like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. Today we slept in a little bit. We're getting up at 8, 9 in the morning, doing some Nerdarchy work, going to the con all day, and then putting in our time at the bar afterwards, and and then coming back and doing a little more work before we finally get to bed. They're long days, so those days start at 8, 9 in the morning and end at like 3, 4 in the morning.
Which kind of ties in. There's a comment from Bards in the Basement. He says, is it safe to say that Nerdarchy is networking some new guests?
Yes, it is very safe to say. We got a stack of business cards of people who are definitely interested. I know next week we also have BJ Hennessy coming on. And I think Stephen Rose is going to actually come on with her. They kind of work together on different projects. So that's cool. She was mentioned in GM Tips by Satine and TL because she does, I think she publishes children's books and stuff, as well as like children's like adventures.
Oh, yeah.
I believe, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure she does. But I could be wrong.
Hey, get your kids involved there. We had an 11-year-old kid at our gaming table yesterday. Yes. It was fun. It was cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see young kids gaming.
Apparently, all 11-year-olds are just evil, and so are their characters.
And thieves. Wow, man. You just wanted to pick everybody's pocket.
Yeah, you're definitely that guy that would have turned on the party. He's like, I wanted to play Chaotic Evil, but they wouldn't let me.
Yeah.
I had to go settle for Chaotic Neutral.
You shouldn't even know what that is, kid.
Yeah.
Ramirez Bill, this is kind of funny, says, did you ask any gamer chicks for a D8 or a date?
I think my wife would disapprove of this.
Clever.
I did get a picture with Wonder Woman.
Oh, yeah.
Kate.
Yep, that was cool.
Which it turned, like, I didn't know anything about her. I was like, oh, this is a nice costume. And like, I think we were walking by, and Doug's like, "Oh, watch out, you're in the picture." And like, she's like, "No, I'm just standing here. There's no one taking a picture." I'm like, "Oh, well, here, take my phone. There will be in a minute. Can I get a picture?" She's like, "Sure." I was like, "Cool. What's your social media?" And I'll tag you whatever. So that was, so that was pretty cool. Then it turns out she's like, some fitness modeling, and she's a hockey player.
Yeah.
So
just meeting people's cool. Even the few folks that came up and were fans of Nerdarchy is neat.
Yeah. Maybe she'll come on and do the live chat so we can talk about hockey.
Yeah.
Like we can baffle all of the fans and myself included. Like sports.
We got to meet a fellow Clevelander. That's where I'm from, Samuel, who is just starting to do some streaming live games too. So he's asking Dave for advice. Yeah,
he was asking me about his setup for the Twitch for the game. I'm like, your setup's better than mine. I should be asking you. I don't know if you watched our stuff or not, but we don't do a whole lot as far as hit record.
We got Sean Geikus. He says hello from rainy New Jersey.
Oh, is it raining in New Jersey?
And then Zerift Gaming, I see him in the chat. He says, "Are we asking gaming questions or Origins questions? Both.
Whatever, man. We're here. We're here for you.
You got gaming questions? Lay them on me. I'll throw them at Nerdarchist Dave here. But today we're hoping to get some gaming done with like a Nerdarchy game.
Yeah. We want to have Dan Dillon run a 5e Kobo Press style game. Yeah. We're far enough in. If you guys want to start off with your roll call, we can do that. While we're doing that, though, I do have like a couple announcements. One is if any of you guys are connected with Ted in any way, go reach out to him, give him some support. His grandmother just passed away yesterday. My wife's grandmother. Like I found out last night at 9-10 o'clock at night that she passed away earlier in the day. I mean, she was 92, but still, it's real sad, And it's hard for me because I'm over here in Origins, and my wife is like an 8-hour drive away. Last night I'd already been drinking, so I'm like, I'm like, you want me to come home? What are we gonna do? And so all the services and everything isn't until this week. So if you guys could just send some love towards Nerdarchist and some support, greatly appreciate it. And of course, as you guys probably already know, and you're probably tired of hearing about it, the GoFundMe campaign is still going. We are still trying to go out to GM Tips next week so we can hang out with Satine and Rudy and get the tour of Geek and Sundry and whatever else may come of that. But we do need a little help. It's an expensive trip to get out to LA, and we're trying to pad our trip a little bit so that we can spend extra time there. So this way we can meet up with fans. So we can get some interviews. Again, like we said, we want to go for Geek and Sundry. We're probably going to fly in the Wednesday night, so we're there on Thursday. I don't know if that day is significant for any reason or if it'll mean anything or not, but we'll be there on Thursday, possibly even Thursday night. But we are angling for a tour of offices, which I was told that's a good possibility that may happen. We'll be able to check out the Maze Arcana setup Sunday because that's when they do their streaming and stuff, and we're going to head home Monday. But also we want to maybe that Friday set up something local in the area where we can hang out with fans, run some games, sign some players' handbooks, whatever, take some pictures. like one of my biggest regrets from the Tampa thing was we were a little overwhelmed by being in the same room with like 5 other Nerdarchy fans and getting to play with them. You know, at the end they're like, sign this, and you know, after the fact, I was like, we should have gotten pictures. We should have took pictures with everyone. I was a little disappointed that we did not get that going.
Yeah, you got to bring a PA with you.
Yeah.
There's a couple questions. First, it's Sean Geekus, which that's pretty cool. Let's see. Steve says, I love you guys bringing people on your show. It's great, all the people linking up. He games with Lex Starwalker and has been a fan of Nerdarchy for a few years.
Oh, awesome. We had Lex on.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. So mixing the shows is great. Here's a game question. Would you give your players a flute to summon a Tarrasque?
That is like got to be the part of like the epic end of the campaign right there. If you're trying to destroy it.
Let's see, Ramirez, what products did you see that impressed you, like dungeon terrain or anything?
Did I say roll call? I thought I did.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Let's see. We'll get to that. Sorry. Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, go for it, man.
All right, we got Heavy Armored Mage in Shayside, Ohio. In the armpit of California, as usual, which I think is Bakersfield, he said one time. Let's see. Patrick Emanuelson in Sweden. Siren Fox in Utah. Got Poison in Kuwait in the house. Rogelio Tadio in Utah. The Dark Lord Manimarco in upstate New York. Really bad for Ted, thank you. Ramirez Bales in Fresno. Comrade 2261. Oh, sorry, he was just responding to somebody's comment. We got Jay Kaiwa is representing Japan. Steve is also sorry about Ted's loss. We got Steve in Phoenix, Arizona. Mitchell Jacobs in Michigan. And that is all of the people that chimed in.
Yeah, I've rambled on, so there's a good possibility that it's sidetracked. Then you start doing roll call, then they'll go back and say where.
Oh, we got Birds in the Basements from Niagara Falls, too. Sorry, he was late.
It's all right. We'll let you slide this time.
Jose Suarez in Tampa.
Yeah, I know. He's one of the ones we gamed with.
Is he?
Yeah. So that was really cool. And the other thing's cool. No, not we.
We
collectively
when you were in Tampa, I was like, was
that
that guy that was
yeah,
Goliath?
Yeah, so one of the cool things too is like from doing the roll call so often, like you say certain names and I already know where they're from.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you guys are too. So that's pretty cool. It's really cool you guys come back each and every day to hang out with us. I can't believe it.
It's very cool. And Zareth is in the middle of nowhere, New Mexico.
Nice. My favorite part of New Mexico.
Sean Geekus says he's looking forward to Xanathar's Guide and Tomb of Annihilation. Me too.
Yeah, so many awesome products going out. Yeah. I think Chris was saying that Watts is now up to like 25 employees.
Oh yeah.
And well, at one point they're down to like half a dozen.
Yeah, right.
You know, so that's good. It's growing. You know, it's good for us as gamers to know that it's going to keep going. You know, like I know people give them a hard time for different things, but like even like I was saying to Chris, like I know behind the scenes that those guys are actually probably fighting to keep the lights on constantly. Like when you look at Magic the Gathering, when you look at other games, when you look at Hasbro as a whole, like friggin' D&D is piss in a bucket. Yeah. Like there's, as far as revenue comes. So they've got to come up with new, inventive, and ways to keep growing the hobby. That's why they're doing all the streaming stuff, Yeah. Why Paizo is putting out 50 products this month, they're figuring out how to put out shows. Yeah. Which is, I think, is the smarter play. If you can get more people involved, more people playing the game, you're going to sell more products in the long run, and you're going to build a healthier to the future. And I think that's what they're really strategically doing and going for.
Yeah, they're playing the long game where it's like, yeah, sure, you could sell to your already existing fans like just more books and everything, but they're reaching so many people with the Twitch and like the functionality with the Beyond.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't brought Matt Mercer in directly, or maybe they're like, we don't have to. Critical Role, he's already doing it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's there. It's already an advocate for playing D&D.
But I know, like Maze Arcana, they recently become Watts partners. Misclicks.
Yeah.
What is it?
Girls Guts Glory.
Yeah, that was the other one I was going to say.
Yeah.
There's a handful of them. I want to try and score. I want to try and score a spot on Dragon Talk. That's what I want.
Yeah. So Greg Tito
Yeah. Well, Shelly's here. You know?
Yeah, because she did the house or the betrayal at Baldur's Gate.
Yeah. Yes.
And house.
Yeah, I actually tried to get some time with Perkins, and I went to walk up to those guys, and they're standing in a semicircle, and he's got a piece of paper in his hand. Well, I've played House on the Hill Betrayer enough times. I started talking, and I'm like, "Oh, you guys, the haunt happened. You guys are still playing the game." They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "All right."
I know he's nothing on him, but it's like he's almost like that next tier where you're like, I don't want to just walk up and bother this guy. And I was like, "There's Chris Perkins right there." I know. For me, anyway. But also, you know, with having less products, I think they really just want to have like really excellent products. And personally, I mean, they're published eventually. I don't run them a lot, but they are really well done.
Nerdarchy collectively owns all of them.
Yeah,
Ted owns all of them himself, and I own different ones. And I think they really started finding their stride around Strahd.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I don't really miss not. I got the box up, but the other ones I don't really miss not owning them as much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's some cool things in there.
Yeah.
But for what I would use them for, listen. Not to be confused with Sky King's Plunder. But you know, I think I've used one thing out of there, and it was pixie dust.
I actually used that in my game, but because of that, one of my players was like in a fight and he didn't know what to do, and he's like, "Can I use my trinket?" And I was like, "What was it?" He's like, "It's just like a bag of pink dust." I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna use that pixie dust thing." I remember you mentioned that, and it worked out great.
I was just thinking of like the things that could have happened, like he can confusion on himself.
Yeah. I think he was able to fly for like 10 minutes or something. Like
the rest of his party was boned.
Yeah.
But, you know, hey, he was out of there.
Let's see. Oh, there was a few questions. Let's see. Oh, Sean Geekus, he was rephrasing his question. What things are you looking for in the new books? The Xanathar's Guide and Tomb of Annihilation.
I think Xanathar's Guide would be nice to finally compile the stuff that is in a lot of the Unearthed Arcana. I believe everything that we're seeing, the revised this or revised that, is essentially what's going to be in that book. Tweaking it and putting the finishing touches on things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I kind of like got confirmed like unofficially last night. Like some changes that they'll make like in the revisions. And I'd be like, wow, that's really specific in a video.
Oh, yeah?
And he's like, we pay attention to what's going on. And it kind of like left it at that. So that's kind of cool. And, we got some really good compliments from like Rudy and Satine. Are like, yeah, when we look for stuff, we go to your channel to look for it. So that's the guy. You guys probably don't care about that stuff that much, but like that stuff is kind of like really touching to me, as well as when to people and they're like, "Hey, you got me back in the game," or "You convinced me to game." Yeah. Mm-hmm. So when you were out having a smoke break, give him shit for smoking. This one kid came up. He's like, "Yeah, I've been gaming for like 2 months now, and I found your channel and I bought this book."
Yeah.
So I was like, "That's awesome." Corrupting the youth.
Let's see. Here's a gaming advice question from Zaref Gaming. He tries to be a serious player, yet unintentionally ends up doing humorous things. Any advice?
I found out that I ruin campaigns as a player sometimes by accident. You know what? As long as you're not messing up the fun at the table for other people, I think it's okay. But that being said, I know from personal experience that I don't get to play that often. So maybe sometimes when I do, you start getting a little crazy, or like in different kinds of games, different kinds of campaign settings. Because first game, there was some conflict there. I'm like, it's the Jedi's fault. They're being dicks. And then we had a different Star Wars game, and I kind of sacrificed one of the NPCs. I'm like, maybe I do break stuff. And then we had the Gamma World game, and something was about to go down, and we could have just left or tried to defuse it, but instead I kind of exploded, literally, and kicked off this mega epic action heroes of the 80s combat. So I'm like, yeah, maybe I break stuff. I'm not sure.
That's the stuff you remember, though. There's room for being serious and being humorous. That's just life.
And 2 of those instances were in a Scat Garber game, so I don't think it counts.
Speaking of him, you were talking about people, influence. You also made the #1 of a top 10 YouTube commentators list this past week.
For Scott Garrett. Yeah, he's got his top 10. I gotta check out that video. He's putting out so many videos nowadays. He's actually one of the few YouTubers I watch.
I like his video. Here's a guest suggestion, Adam Coble. Yeah, we got a big list of people that
I've been corresponding with him via email, so we're working on something for After Origins. Hopefully we can get him in. And actually, he doesn't have like a muggle job, or like doesn't have a typical muggle job. So I think his availability's a little bit more open, so I can do something with that. We need to do like a nighttime, a week where we just do like schedule things during the night or whatever, because we get a guy from the Bacon Battalion wants to come on, but he can't do the time slot. He's really good. I don't know if you guys seen him. He's got like a Game Master's Tip YouTube channel. Like it's in the name somewhere. Something Game Master. I don't remember off the top of my head, but he's involved in a couple of different channels.
He's in the UK, right? Isn't it?
South Africa, I believe.
Oh, is that what,
but like, he actually like dresses up and stuff when he does his video. His videos are really good. You guys should check him out. And actually, he was one of the guys that Satine said when she got handed the baton to do GM tips. She's like, I was looking at, it's like, okay, well, how's everyone else doing it? She's like, I went to the Nerdarchy videos, and then I went to, she described Guy's channel and who she was talking about.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, that's really cool.
Yeah. And we got to watch Ted's game this past week, the Starfinder thing.
Tuesday night.
Oh, yeah, that was right when
you stole my slot in the game.
But that looked like a lot of fun. It looked like Ted was having a good time.
Yeah, so you can catch that over on Twitch. It's archived on Encounter Roleplay. Or you can catch it on WebDM. It's going to be over there as well. So you can watch Ted play as basically a space dragonborn.
Let's see. What else do we have going on this week? How do you deal with a player who purposely derails the game when kicking the player out isn't an option?
Well, I mean, it's always talk to them first, and then you have to take it from there. Like, in-game solutions for out-of-game problems are horrible for the most part. Like I said, I can be that problem player sometimes. I think some people just make better GMs than players. But that being said, I'm approachable and can be like, dude, you're being an asshole. Stop. I was like, all right, I'm sorry.
JK, when he went from Spain, said he just watched the Starfinder video today. It was a bunch of fun.
Oh, cool. Glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, I feel like, too, and talking to some of the guys that are kind of on the inside, like, so it is Pathfinder, but it sounds like they're trying to streamline the rules a little bit, and they're also trying to, like, incorporate some things that you might have seen in 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons and other games, so that's kind of cool. That gives me a little bit of hope, because I am kind of excited to check it out. But at the end of the day, too, part of me is just like, am I going to be just playing Pathfinder in space? Because I'm not really looking to go back to 3.5, to be honest with you.
Pretty cool mix. It's definitely not like Spelljammer where it's like magic explains how things work. Like it's scientific. There's actually like electronic spaceships, and they have like scanners and stuff like that. So
they're building a science fantasy, so I don't think they're getting that deep. I love the concept of the drift. I think the drift is a freaking amazing concept. You know what it is?
No, I didn't.
So the drift is their warps. When they hit warp speed, they kind of like go through the drift. The problem is there's always a little bit of chance that you can bring something with you from the drift, but it might be something like from hell or the celestial planes or anywhere. But the problem with that is generally you're going to be fighting because people get pissed off when you pull them in a part of their dimension out of where it belongs.
All right, so kind of like Event Horizon where they cut through hell to get the
past. Yeah, you got to take your shortcuts where you can get them.
Sometimes you cut through hell.
Yeah, so you guys, have you been watching Nate and Ted this past week? They've been doing a bang-up job. So, that was cool. I was able to catch a little bit here and there, especially on my drive down on Tuesday. I was checking them out. So that was pretty cool. I guess I did Monday, right? I think I did.
That seems like a million years ago.
Yeah, I know. At this point, so much has happened. Yeah, because that's when Chris Nord is like, not Chris Nord, but Christopher Haskins from Nord Games is like randomly as we're getting ready to start.
Yeah, that's right.
Show? I'm like, who do you have in mind? He's like, I'm not doing anything. I was like, sure, jump on.
The interesting thing for me this week is like, I've been to a few cons and thinking like, oh yeah, there's all these cool games I'm gonna play. We haven't really played that many games, but it's like we could play games all the time. But like you said earlier, the chance to just meet all these people that you know from online or that you wish you could meet and stuff. And
yeah, you know, it really is kind of like a networking business thing for us, I guess.
Mhm.
It is, but it's like with really, really cool people.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just like some suit or whatever. You're freaking, you know, I'm watching Chris Perkins as a player live, and you know, Satine and Rudy, and then Chris, what is his name? Lindsay running the game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that stuff's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then being able to help them set up, like we got so many pictures of, you know, of me standing there looking lost while Rudy and Satine set things up around me. And every once in a while, like, here, hey kid, go plug this in.
And those are any of those on Instagram? Yeah, they probably will be.
Yeah, they will be.
That's
I actually have to get a bunch of them off the camera.
Yeah, apologies. I'm not that good of a photographer. I just went for quantity over quality. I figured, well, if I take a bunch, there's got to be at least a couple that aren't crappy. So.
Yeah, I think you did all right. I think we're gonna get some good ones in there.
I liked meeting people that kind of do things that I would like to do to help you and getting tips from them, like that moderator. There's a woman we met. Axis of Anarchy is her Twitter handle, but she moderates the chat for Critical Role and some Nerdist stuff. And
She just got tapped, right?
Yeah, for doing it, helping out for D&D. So she was really excited about that, and just getting like tips from her and like Robert Aducci about how they engage with the community. So I'm hoping to put that in, you know, practice to help you guys. That's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, and poor Stephen Rowe, he's working with Dan Dillon in the Cobalt Press room, where they're running Cobalt Press games, and like everyone wants to play 5e, and he's running the Pathfinder games, and he's like, come play with me.
Yeah, so if you're here and you can get into Dan's 5e games, he did say he's like, I'll convert it to 5e or whatever. Just set them up. He's like, I just want players at my table, so go check them out. They're in Delaware C, I think. If you're here, you can go check that out.
Yeah. The film festival's still going on for the rest of today, and then they're going to pick a winner.
Yeah.
So
I think they're showing Plastic Galaxies today or tomorrow also, which is another...
I don't think they're doing anything on Sunday, so it would probably be tonight.
Yeah. But definitely check out that of Dice and Matt. That was really cool, and it was nice.
Yeah. I don't know about Netflix, but it's definitely on Amazon Prime. So if you have Amazon Prime, there's like no reason not to watch it.
And if you're watching this video, no reason not to go into the Amazon link in the description to check out the place.
Yeah, for the Amazon Prime. Well, and the other thing too, even if you don't have Amazon Prime, you can sign up for a 30-day free trial and go and watch it and then go cancel it afterwards if you want to.
There you go.
So there's that.
Yeah. And did you mention the GoFundMe? Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. We've already panhandled the internet.
Sorry, I'm a shill.
But hey, you know, it helps keep the lights on. It helps us do things like this. Oh my God, we've spent so much money at this event so far.
Well, you're greasing the wheels with that money, though.
Yeah.
It might be an investment.
I think like 60% of it might have been on moves. I didn't drink it all myself, though.
Yeah, you gotta.
They're business expenses. Buying Satine and Rudy a drink is definitely a business expense.
For sure. Let's see, there's not really many questions. There can be, of course, people are just talking amongst themselves.
Yeah. How are we doing on time?
It's 12:23. Okay. So it's been about 45 minutes.
Yeah. So we'll go on for another 10, 20 minutes or whatever, and then we're gonna actually go back to the con and go hang out and play some D&D. I think we're gonna be playing some D&D. The only thing I am a little disappointed because I do want to play like other games, like other board games. I'm like, we played some Smash Up.
Oh, that's right. I bought Smash Up. Yeah, I got the base set and then the one with the Cyber Apes, Super Spies, Shape Changers, and Time Travelers.
Oh, Time Travelers.
Yeah. And if Nerdach Dave beat me, but that's cool.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't really fair because I actually know the game better than him. And I know what combinations work really good, and I was just totally just tried to crush them.
Yeah, would you do Zombies and Aliens?
Zombies and Aliens is like one of the best combinations on the game.
Yeah, but I still had fun. And I got a playmat out of it because I was like the first person that bought it that day. And I got some Funko Pops. I got Ash from Evil Dead, the Dude from The Big Lebowski, and She-Hulk.
Oh, we should try and get a photo with the Dude.
Oh yeah, they have that guy. Yeah,
there's a dude. There's one of the guys walking around cosplaying the Dude, and he looks just like him.
Yep, he's got the White Russian. Well, I don't know, probably chocolate milk. Because I can't walk around with booze.
Well, maybe. He's the Dude, man.
Yeah, that's right. He abides.
He abides. So there's always a possibility. There's not a lot of cosplay here. There's just
I'm surprised by that. Like, my first experience with game cons was Gen Con, and you feel like dumb because you're not wearing a costume. So I was thinking like, oh yeah, there's gonna be hundreds of people. But there's some, but not as many as I would have thought. I think there is a costume contest tonight.
They always do one.
So if we're around, we should maybe get some pictures or something.
I'm curious to see if Megan's going to be in costume. It just seems like something she would do.
Yeah.
I know she does. I know she's definitely done some cosplay, and I feel like her profile picture is a cosplay. So.
Let's see. Oh, Jose Suarez asks, will you be filming any part of the con?
We really haven't messed with the filming aspect very much, just because of the technical difficulties and having to haul everything around all day.
Yeah.
So we've just kind of been hanging out, and I've been looking more so for being able to bring people from the con to Nerdarchy later on. Is more of what I've been looking to do.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. There's a few more questions here at the end. Let's see. Jay Kiowa says, how saturated is the gaming market right now? I don't have enough time to play every game, and I know the community is blowing the F up. But how hard, sorry, you can use the word, but I'm kind of appeased. How hard is it for new game system makers? We've talked to quite a few of them.
Yeah, I mean, they're out there every day. Here's the thing, right? If you have something good, the cream will always rise to the crop.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it comes down to. If you have something good and you can figure out how to get it out there and how to market it and how to get it in people's hands, if it's good, there's no such thing as saturation. But if you're not good at marketing the product, if you're not good at getting it out there so people will check it out, if it's not that good, then the market will seem the market would seem saturated if there was only 3 other people doing it. Just because.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get the word out there. And unfortunately, if you're doing anything nowadays, you have to be able to wear so many different hats.
Yeah, how do you put it? Like each thing you do is like 6 people shaved.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like literally, each social media marketing piece could literally be a full-time job for somebody if you wanted it to be.
Yeah. And
then you look and I think Seth was breaking Satine's balls about being the talent, but she's she is the talent, but then she's running around setting stuff up beforehand. So they're messing with the overlays and the art,
mm-hmm.
Which she had probably pre-drawn anyway and done that as well. They're on Twitter promoting what they're doing. So just the talent that does that and everything else, between the two of them.
And that seems true even at the highest levels. I mean, even you think of Christopher Lindsay, it's like, hey, he's a product manager and he runs games on Twitch. And I mean, all these people that you might look up to, it's like, they're not resting on their laurels. I mean, it's a lot of work it's a fun thing they love doing. So
it makes it a lot easier. Yeah. So, so I guess the short answer is, you can absolutely do it. There is new stuff coming out there. We're we're even discovering things that have their own little ecosystem and following that we just didn't know about.
Mm-hmm.
But people are making it work. What was that guy we met yesterday? We got his business card. He did all the cool, fun art for it. You demoed the game with the Twinkies with the eyes.
Oh, Andy Happ, I think was his name. He was from Ohio. Actually, he's an artist.
Yeah. But he's got, an RPG and he's got different board, or
card
tabletop games
that tie in with that
that tie in with it. It's all based off on the same world and miniatures. And, I've never heard of it, and I saw it, and it was really cool. And it's kind of based off of literally potty humor,
mm-hmm.
essentially. Yeah. And it's like a Savage Worlds RPG.
That's not new. He's been doing that for
2005, I think he said.
So,
to some version or another.
Yeah.
And
so there's room in the market for all kinds of stuff.
Just get in there, man. Get dirty.
Mm-hmm. Zaref Gaming asks, are we getting any special guests from the con? Hopefully some.
It seems like it. We definitely got a lot of interest. There's going to be a lot of fun people. Like the guy we just mentioned was one of
mm-hmm.
them. The guy,
Creature Curations.
Yeah, I think his name was Brian.
Yep, Brian Cullen, I think.
Yeah, he'd be really cool. If you enjoyed the Crystal Sully live chat, then you'll really enjoy this one as well, because it'll be along that vein, except for he's going to be showing us more three-dimensional
mm-hmm. stuff.
Also, it's similar to Wayward Leather, but still different, completely different than any of those, and the story that he has to go with it. And he's definitely one of us, a gamer. hardcore.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Will you guys publish anything on DM's Guild?
Never. So now that being said, Eco, yeah, absolutely.
No, I did.
Oh yeah, you did. That's right.
My blue magic barbarian path.
See, there you go, blue magic barbarian path. The thing with doing things on DM's Guild, if you do it on DM's Guild, you cannot do it anywhere else. So while we actually publish some things on our own website, and we will do that in the future, we're also looking to partner with other people to maybe publish some of their stuff on our website. We would definitely put stuff on Drive-Thru-RPG, but because DM's Guild is exclusive, we would never put our stuff. We're never going to put our stuff on there, pretty much.
Yeah, I was just excited to put it out anywhere. I'm like, yeah, sure, DM's Guild.
Yeah. Well, no, it makes sense. It gets you a lot of exposure. You just have to be okay with that. Your stuff can only live there.
Let's see. Is anyone is there gaming asks, am I the only one surprised that Comic Book University isn't here in the chat? I was a little surprised.
That's funny. Well, we kind of like guerrillaed this one, so we're just like, well, originally we were like, hey, maybe we should do it at 12, but like, we kind of want to get back to the con and get doing stuff, and like, I don't know, whoever shows up. We'll figure it out.
Well, he might still be streaming with Nerdarchist Con.
Earlier too, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to see.
Oh, hey, we're at 37,000 subs.
Oh yeah. Well, that'll actually give you an estimate.
Oh.
I'm trying to see if it'll show you how many you're watching, but I don't see that.
Yeah, I never can see that on my phone.
Mine usually does, but actually that's the other thing. Like right now, my phone is actually the hotspot, so we're running the internet from my phone right now because the hotel internet sucks. So
I had to do my job from my phone hotspot the other day. That was fun.
Yeah, because doing it from the hotel Wi-Fi made Doug wanted to kill himself.
Yeah.
I'm like, you cannot kill yourself. I will be lost. I can't find anything. And who's going to collect these business cards for me?
Yeah, that was one of my funnier memories from the con. Was I went off to do some demo, but it turned out it was going to take like 4 hours. So I was like, I don't want to waste that much time. So I went back to find Nerdarchist Dave, and he was just as he was telling somebody like, "Oh yeah, he had a business guy." He's like, "I'll make sure my assistant gets that." And I was like, up right behind him.
Yeah, like a ninja.
Yeah. Let's see. Somebody says, "What's the best food at the con?" We've had a lot of good food. Actually, the food at the bar, a big bar on 2 at the Hyatt Regency, has been pretty good.
It has been, but we also been drinking there,
yeah.
So it's hard to say something. We hit a burger joint around the corner from here that was pretty good.
Yeah.
There's this coffee place that I'd love to like bring my wife to, but Ohio's a little bit far.
Yeah.
And it's actually a bar. Although we didn't drink anything there. But it's a bar and it's a coffee shop and they have like ice cream and they have like all this like gourmet chocolates and
it's called Chocoholic.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's been pretty cool. I think we're supposed to be going with Seth for dinner tonight. We're supposed to grab sushi or something.
Yeah, which I think is at that place right next to right in that little area where the coffee shop was.
Yeah, I think we have a reservation over there, so that'll be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you found more famous people than we got bumped.
yeah. I know. That was like right before the con really got started. When you us, we're like, yeah, sure, we'll go. I got cooler people than you guys.
Yeah, we'll sit outside at the window looking in like sad puppies.
Ramirez Bale says all his dwarves look like Dave.
Those poor dwarves.
But yeah, we're just kind of.
Oh, that is awesome too. Bar 2. The Billy Goat Gruff guy.
Yeah.
He's like, I recognized your beard from across the room.
Somebody else, sorry, Dave's wife. He's just got to keep the beard. I mean, a few people were like, yeah, I saw the beard. I recognized the beard. That's why they came out.
Like, literally, I could just send the beard to cons and I could stay home.
Yeah, there you go.
I might have to make a superhero character where the beard is like a sentient creature. This is my symbiote.
Like Medusa. You can like stretch out and grab stuff. And everything.
Well, someone did they did a tick-style game. One of the players played a character he made up called, I think, American Beard or Beard Justice or something like that, and he totally did that.
You call him the Gleared.
Yeah, the Gleared.
You guys should try Korean barbecue if you've never tried it.
Is that a big thing in Ohio?
I don't know. I'm from Ohio, and not that I know of.
I would definitely eat Korean barbecue. I don't think I've actually had that. I'll pretty much eat anything though, so it's not really saying much.
There is a Skyline chili, which is like an Ohio thing right down the street, but I don't like it. But...
Oh, and actually,
oh yeah,
I shouldn't show it off, but yeah, this is in honor of my Canadian gaming group that I play with. They always talk about Tim Hortons, so I just thought it was a Canadian thing.
Me too, and there's actually, you can see it from the hotel room.
We can look out the window and see it. They actually have pretty good coffee too. So at least if I ever decide to move to Canada, I have a place to go for coffee. That's awesome.
Your beard is the villain in my next campaign.
I don't know how I feel about that. Well, you know, I wanted to do way back when I was playing Mutants and Masterminds. I was planning on my big arch villain being Donald Trump and having his hair be a symbiote, an alien that actually controlled.
That was years ago.
That was pre-Nerdarchy. That was quite a few years ago. That's one of the things I loved about playing Mutants and Masterminds. I loved using pop culture references. You know, I had Mr. T as a villain. I used it. Well, not really a villain. He was like he transformed into this whole like creature, so they had to stop him. I used Michael Jackson's chimpanzee Bubbles. I was thinking eventually I was going to use Michael Jackson and make him some kind of like zombie lord.
Right out of Thriller.
Yeah, pretty much. And just when you thought Thriller was just a song. So I think we're going to wrap it up. I don't know how long we've been actually going at this, but
about an hour.
It's been pretty close, and we do want to get back to the con. We're going to go hang out with Ty and Megan and, you know, get some gaming in. I'm thinking about driving home tonight afterwards, so it's going to be a long day. So, guys, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. We may or may not still grab some footage from the con. I'm not sure what we're going to do with that quite yet, but at the very least, what we will be doing going forward is having a lot more guests on that we were able to meet here today. So that was really cool. I think we've got like over a dozen business cards or something. Oh, yeah. And some of them are actually like big names. So that was really cool. So it's been really exciting and fun. So guys, until next time, stay nerdy.